Tonight on Legislative Review, we take a look at what's coming up this week in the legislature, and a bill that would allow property taxes to fund public health clinics, plus regulating self-driving cars. That's coming up on Legislative Review. Thanks for joining us for Legislative Review. I'm Mike Bay, standing in for Angela Nolasco.
Hearing no objections, so ordered. Sixth order of business.
Welcome to Week 7 of the 2025 legislative session, which started January 13th and stretches 15 weeks to the end of April. This week, the focus of the legislature shifts away from policy committees, which had until last Friday to discuss and vote on bills in the Chamber of Origin.
The House Appropriations Committee will come to order for the purpose of public hearing.
It now shifts to fiscal committees in the House and Senate, which have 1 week to hold public hearings and vote on bills that passed out of the policy committees. Every bill that has a fiscal impact on the state budget must pass not only a policy committee, but also a fiscal committee. So, expect long days of public hearings and voting sessions, also called executive sessions, in committees like House Appropriations, Senate Ways and Means, and the House and Senate Transportation Committees, the House Finance Committee, which considers tax and revenue bills, and the House Capital Budget Committee, which considers the budget that funds construction and repair of public buildings and infrastructure, will also be meeting.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Senator Riccelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate advance to the 8th order of business.
Plus, the Senate will hold floor sessions on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday this week. The deadline for fiscal committees is Friday the 28th. After that, both the House and Senate will enter a week and a half of intense floor debate.
Good morning. House Finance is called to order.
A new bill heard by the House Finance Committee Monday could allow counties to levy a small additional property tax to fund public health clinics. House Bill 1870 seeks to provide counties the option to impose up to 5 cents per $1,000 of assessed property value. The funds raised would go directly to operating and maintaining public health clinics, including mobile clinics that offer low-barrier health services to residents. The tax would be exempt from revenue growth limits for the first year and would fall under the constitutional tax rate cap, but be exempt from other restrictions. Democratic Representative Janice Zahn sponsored the bill.
At a time when healthcare costs continue to grow, having these healthcare clinics, healthcare centers are more essential than ever. Counties need to be able to have these tools if they need it to be able to continue to provide these services for the most vulnerable in our community.
Supporters say giving counties the power to levy a small property tax will improve access to health care for underserved communities and create a sustainable source of funding for public health clinics. King County State Relations Director Joe McDermott.
This bill provides dedicated funding for Seattle-King County Public Health's 13 clinics around the county that provide vital primary care and other public health services to our clients. We ask for your support in joining with SEIU 1199 Northwest and others in support of this legislation. Thank you.
However, there is pushback on the idea of raising property taxes, particularly in communities already facing high taxes or cost of living increases, who believe healthcare funding should come from state or federal sources rather than local property taxes. Anti-tax activist Jeff Pack.
We're the 4th least affordable state, quickly heading to 3rd. It's not death by 1,000 cuts, it's death by 1,000 taxes. Please stop treating us like ATMs. You push a button and the magic money fairy pops out more dollars. Every dollar we give you means less money spent into the community. Every new tax and fee increase takes away more of my disposable income.
No other opposition was heard on the bill, which was also supported by the Washington State Nurses Association and the Tacoma-Pierce County Health Department.
Welcome everyone to the February 24th Transportation Committee meeting.
Members of the House Transportation Committee met Monday to discuss House Bill 1984, which would impose new regulations on autonomous vehicles, commonly referred to as self-driving cars. The bill aims to require a human safety operator to be physically present in any self-driving vehicle transporting passengers or goods on highways. The operator's job is to monitor the vehicle and intervene in case of an emergency. The bill also seeks to expand the state's existing pilot program for autonomous vehicle testing to vehicles with, quote, level 3 automation. These vehicles can control certain functions like steering, but drivers must be prepared to take control when needed. Think newer cars with an AI autopilot function. Level 3 vehicles can steer, brake, and accelerate independently, but still require the driver to take over at some point, or else they stop and activate hazard lights. Democratic Representative Shelley Kloba sponsored the bill.
AVs have a difficult time identifying pedestrians and bikes and any sort of anomalous type of other road user you might find. Things like construction zones, you and I can adapt to that. We follow the signs. We have had things like at a fire scene, that's something, a different occasion or a condition that you might come across on the road. Humans know how to figure that out. We have stories of AVs like parking on top of the fire hose and obstructing the opportunity for the firefighters to work safely.
Advocates say it would address safety concerns as self-driving cars become more popular and would put passengers, pedestrians, and cyclists at ease, knowing there's always someone who can take control of the vehicle if technology fails.
There have been several documented safety concerns across the country involving driverless vehicles and firefighters responding to or operating at emergency scenes. These incidents range from driverless vehicles blocking fire trucks and ambulances from getting out of the station when dispatched to an emergency and not yielding to emergency lights in intersections. There's already no room for error in this profession when you consider the fact that a fire doubles in size every minute and literal seconds can mean the life or death for someone experiencing a cardiac event. I urge you to support this bill, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
However, the concept isn't quite as well received by tech companies that see it as a potential slowdown in the deployment of fully automated vehicles. They argue it could increase costs and that requiring a human operator cancels out the purpose of autonomy innovation, especially for level 4 and level 5 cars, which are designed to fully operate without human intervention.
The requirement in this legislation of only allowing the operation of autonomous vehicles unless a human safety operator is physically present effectively bans autonomous vehicle deployments in the state of Washington. A prohibition on the operation of AVs unless a human operator is physically present in the vehicle is effectively a permanent ban on driverless vehicles. No state, to our knowledge, has imposed an in-driver requirement, and so it would be a shame for us to be the first. For these reasons, TechNet is asking you to not move forward this legislation. Thank you.
To watch the full hearings featured in this episode, along with gavel-to-gavel coverage of this session's legislative activity, log on to tvw.org.